Hello, everyone, and welcome back to I've Got Next with myself, Austin, and Smeef Erickson.
Hey, been a little while, hadn't it?
Yes, unfortunately, due to me catching
Don't say
a
it.
near death, a near death of a mysterious disease that's been going around the world, I took a little time off, but I am back, and we shall jump in again. And oh no, the spookums, they continue.
He looks cute.
He's filming a podcast. This is exactly what I look like.
Just like a little gremlin in a dimly lit room.
Exactly. Now, to be fair, I looked like that beforehand, too. But we were headed to...
Oh, where's SCPs?
Oh, yeah, the mannequins.
Yeah, that's like I can't remember. It's probably like the most famous one, but like totally like a weeping angel.
But we were headed through R&D to try and find the head of basically the security who went down here to secure something.
Oh, he's doing what's in his title. That'd be funny if, like, security, like, yes, I work security for this building. Oh, really? What do you do? Well, I strap things down to make sure they don't go anywhere.
Well, load securement.
Redacted.
So now we learn about a specific part of the astral plane, or otherworldly dimension, with all of these views of black pyramids and this mysterious rock and things like that. And we start to learn about their forays into that world. But first I have to make sure these red triangles go away.
Gotta satisfy that OCD.
Yes.
Paranormal topics and you.
I've been fielding questions.
Looking a little haggard there.
Regarding
Haggard?
HRAs. What are they for? Do you always need to wear them? And
You can tell he's tired because he's losing his tie.
the head-run resonance anyway. Right. Fuck. Despite what you may have heard,
Oh, I keep forgetting. It's still very clever. I'm not dogging it, but I can do. I like sometimes forget that
listening to your conversations
like technology
while
bad
you're wearing them.
in this thing. So they're being forced to like film on. I guess they're trying to make it look like a Super 8, but it's a bit too clear for it. But you still got like the cigarette burns and the stray hair.
Life preserver.
Yeah, and it's specifically iconic technology that they can't use. So you wouldn't want to use a Polaroid camera because that could build up resonance, so to speak.
Got an HRA keeping you afloat. And if you don't have an HRA, don't worry. It'll be quick and painless.
Can you not say that with a smile?
I'm kidding.
He's very tired.
We're making more.
You also missed his lovely Seinfeld joke there.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, he's like, "What's the deal with the HRAs?"
Oh.
Bureau of Control. I'm Dr. Casper Darling, head of research.
We're just catching up on the videos. I believe this one was playing in the lobby the last time we were here.
Okay.
I'm looking at you, Mr. Tomasi. So, this is where the magic happens.
I too have watched MTV Cribs.
I've been here for 24 years now.
Is that a bit of a dated reference for everyone?
And through those years, we've made
I'm gonna be honest, I have not watched or seen if that was going forever.
I don't know. I just know that was the phrase that was said in every episode.
We truly know. Rest assured, we're committed to keep pushing the known laws and borders of reality and to make the Bureau proud. So, welcome. Assuming you have the necessary clearance, and do follow the safety protocols. Read the manual. Otherwise, bad things will happen.
I really,
He looks like a man that enjoys a good sweater vest.
yeah. Oh yes, grainy footage from the
A
other
reel to
dimension,
reel.
the astral. Yeah.
Don't ask how we got the giant camera required to run those in there.
An early hypothesis was that the mindscape of the astral plane is subjective,
Totally typing.
but that was fast proven wrong. It's an actual place, not a construct of the mind, even though it is with our minds that we enter and experience it. But then one could argue that that's the case with all reality.
Triangles.
We've been able to record
Yes,
footage of
yes.
the astral
Ooh,
plane, monitoring
our local
brain
bank
waves
commercial.
those experiences. That is the only concrete material that has come out of the astral plane expeditions. Apart from one shocking exception. In the astral plane footage, we're always in the vicinity.
You know what they could have done instead of using VHS?
We've concluded that this,
What's that?
not the entire
What they
plane,
could have
is
done
board
to,
controls.
because I would call VHS like an iconic bit of technology, even though it was what
Native species
yeah,
always
it's around for a good
and yet
10, 15 years.
stayed.
Somewhere around
We
there.
don't have
Yeah,
footage
I
of
would have
this
gone with
technical
Betamax.
but when one of our astronauts returned, a brain cloud, an astral fuel,
That would have been great,
tried
and
a ride in his
And also that slot looks a little small for VHS.
Relentless predator pursuing thoughts.
Also, I like the little outline of the lamp to the right. Just letting you know that my telekinesis is always ready to launch something.
Pneumatics. Oh,
Yeah.
air-powered tools.
So this is up there is like one of the little mini missions. Oh boy, this is a great noise.
I can't
Oh.
believe they keep that thing.
It's like Coachella.
And here we have what I would say is kind of the equivalent of a mini boss, I guess. Although the object is not to fight that thing, really,
Ah,
but to figure out how to deal with it.
all right. So what sort of is this? Just like a indescript globular anomaly?
So there was a if you remember back in one of our first times entering the training yard or into the astral plane, we encountered a couple of these things. They're invincible. They just kind of destroy and interact with everything around them,
Yeah.
showing off the lovely physics engine. And so you can't really do anything with them. You can shoot them or throw things at them, and it stops it for a second.
Yeah.
But as you can see, there's a big loop, and there's this room with the containment stuff splattered around the outside edge.
Okay.
And basically, so you get the idea like, oh, I need to run through here, trap it in that room in order to go forward.
Ah.
But-
okay.
Got to have the power on to both of the little nodules there. So I got to find the other battery that I picked up and threw at it at first.
Oops.
Thwack. Yeah, so that's about the most you can do to him. Yep.
Okay, so you got the one door down.
Yep, so it takes 2 batteries to power the door. There's the second battery.
Do enjoy a good auto lock.
And done.
Ah. Containment.
What was the Bureau doing with that thing?
Secured.
Well, they were throwing things at it to see what it would do.
Yeah.
Not much else to do with that thing.
We need backup down here. Marshall, are you still there?
Shit. We're so close. We need to hurry.
I'm doing it, Jesse. Jeez. Uh-oh. I bet there's monsters up ahead.
Yeah.
And that thing.
A spooky door lock. Huh.
So those things become priority 1. They are, in an MMO sense of the word, they are the healers of the party.
Annoying.
But you got a nice little combat section here inside of a room of evil, I would say. Nothing good can go on in chairs with little helmets.
It's just an evil room.
But you had something you wanted to read. I think now would be a good time for it as we just fight our way through this next little combat section.
Alrighty. Well, what we're going to be talking about, since this sort of game is very, very, you know, tied to the SCP Foundation. I don't want to say it's a direct result, but there's definitely inspiration taken from it. We are going to be, during these little downtimes, we're going to start reading about the different SCPs. Starting out is going to be SCP-5031. Object class is Keter. Special containment procedures are SCP-5031 is to be contained in an airtight iron cell in Biosite 59. The structure must be inspected for imperfections on a bi-weekly basis. No other interaction necessary. Description. SCP-5031 is a non-sapient, quasi-humanoid creature of unknown origin. When directly observed, SCP-5031 will temporarily cease to exist until a viewer stops observing the space that SCP-5031 formerly occupied. Traces of its existence, example, scratch marks, blood trails, continue to exist when SCP-5031 does not. Video and photography devices do not capture SCP-5031's appearance. However, observing SCP-5031's shadow does not cause cessation of existence, allowing certain physiological traits to be inferred from its silhouette. Abnormally small head with no discernible neck. Elbows branch into 3 sets of lower arms each. Elongated torso approximately 1.9 meters in length. Pelvis terminates in a crescent-shaped protrusion of, osseous tissue with a blade-like lower edge. Levitates above the ground at a fixed height of 0.5 meters. While SCP-5031 has no nutritional needs, it will nevertheless hunt and consume any human or animal it encounters by using its pendulous lower body to down targets. SCP-5031 does not sleep and is incapable of expression or verbal communication. Yeah. I think there were, if I remember rightly, if this was one of the ones that they were basically able to discern its certain characteristics by describing what it isn't. Like they can't ever get a good lock on it.
Just like the Jedi and the Uzon Vong.
That goes deeper than I can reference.
So, the Uzon Vong were an enemy from outside the galaxy. And they were immune to all force. And so the Jedi couldn't sense them, and so they had to start sensing where they worked. And looking for holes in the force.
Interesting.
Perfect timing.
Base
as
the
we
drop.
have made it.
Whoa. But yeah, we'll and if you have any favorite SCPs that you want us to read about and sort of compress into a digestible format, yeah, just drop it in the comments. We'll be more than happy to look at them. Or if you just want to say hi.
Yeah. Doing some level ups.
So
And the more points.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
ask, what is basically? Because I've been trying to follow along, and I kind of gapped a few places. What is the equivalent of MP on this one?
You have energy that refills pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It'll it's at a bar at the top of the screen,
Okay.
and I created a new version of the gun, and we'll test it out here shortly. But yeah, basically, so the more you level up that kind of energy path, not only do you just have more to use, it regens faster, and then certain powers are more efficient.
Okay.
And our new version of the sidearm is called the spin.
As you can see, it spins.
Yeah.
Speaking of RPGs, I know we talked about it kind of off camera, but have you checked out anything about the Baldur's Gate 3 DLC?
No, I looked for it, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah, they released a trailer for it, and basically, like, the characters are not interactable, or there's no motion. They're actual pieces.
Huh.
Yeah, and I have not seen to what extent you can design your own dungeon, but it would be really cool if you could actually build a campaign in-game.
Yeah, kind of like the old Neverwinter Nights, which was, imagine Baldur's Gate 3, but made in the 2000s. And it released a dungeon set that you could just build a campaign, save it, and send it to people. Oh.
I see it. Another object of power? They're just standing there, mesmerized by it.
That is a tiny CT machine, if that is indeed what that is.
Like a child CT machine. Now, the cubes that we've been seeing for so long are starting to actually show up as puzzle answers. Gotta hit the clacky balls.
Yes. Newton's cradle.
Clacky balls.
Also good. I don't like. So they reinvented them in like the 90s, but the original clackers that were just two balls on a string that everybody smacked themselves in the face with. Children's toys were much more fun when they were dangerous.
So here I'm like, well, that looks like it, but no, not quite.
Is it? I remember you'd mentioned this earlier. The solution was actually on the wall in another room, wasn't it?
So no, this one, it is the correct solution right there, but it's just so gooey. But it just the edges are a little bit thicker than I'm seeing. Schlorp.
Are you in the mailroom specifically?
So no, this is the hypnosis lab.
Oh, And they've also got some soundproofing in that room.
Hmm. So we're in R&D.
tests.
Yeah. So we're in R&D. So all of the labs are based around objects of power that involve, things to be researching, and this one particularly researching the X-ray.
Ah.
And so now I'm like, the outside edges are thicker. Done.
Oh. It's like one of those 3D boxes that everybody used to draw back in elementary school.
I just want one of these puzzles to be the cool S.
Oh, yeah.
State your name for the record. All Warren, astronaut, first class. And you are aware that exposure to the astral plane can result in death, disability, personal injury, corporeal untangling, cognitive collapse, loss of ego, and partial to full dementia.
Loss of ego.
I am. And you acknowledge that your use of the astral conduit, aka the X-ray light box, is purely voluntary.
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Your suit is good?
Yeah.
Okay, you're all set. Open the door for Mr. Warren, please.
If you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
I like that line reading because it reminds me of Annie Potts' line reading in Ghostbusters as she's explaining the hiring process.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I really did like Ernie Hudson's, like the sort of what he brought into the team. He would literally just come in as the guy that just needed money.
Yeah, so funnily enough, in the, I guess not deleted scenes, but in the extra materials for the show and movie and stuff like that, it turns out he was like super overqualified.
Oh yeah.
Like he held several doctorates and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, we're given the challenge of an enemy that's completely immune to all of our attacks.
Oh.
But we have C's now, which does this.
Oh. Wait.
Yeah. Now he belongs to us.
Okay, I was going to say if you use a charm or something.
Yeah, we're using the X-ray light box to take control of them and let them attack the gold guy. They are bad shots, though, just like I am. They're my sons.
Yep. Wubba wubba dub dub.
I like it does the little Jaws camera rack zoom.
Mm-hmm.
It just slowly zooms in.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, mysterious board.
Mm. Done.
Yay! More super cool abilities.
Nice.
Their brains were fried when I took over the object.
Oops. My bee.
Just Urkel in this environment.
Did I do that? I don't want to attempt the voice.
Just dead and dying all around. Just him bumbling through. Yeah. Like this little sliced brain because it reminds me of, was that the Cube with J-Lo with the horse?
That was the Cell.
The Cell.
Yeah, the Cube was that. Well, the acting was kind of but the movie itself was really awesome. It's about where they kind of get trapped in this giant Rubik's Cube puzzle, room to room thing, and they have to escape with algorithms.
Yeah. Would highly recommend The Cell. Would also recommend that director did another movie called The Fall. Would highly recommend
can
that
you
as
hear
well.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Who is this?
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm coming to help.
Whoa, she went cross-eyed. Did you see that?
Hold on. I'm setting the
I
elevator.
did not.
We need to talk.
She got that right.
She was like in the middle of her sentence, and her eyes just kind of went to her nose.
Really?
Yes.
And then, hey, just for the fun of it, right before you get on the elevator, have a bunch of suicide bombers.
That's a game trope that no one likes.
Ah, it's just the worst.
I think that's been in almost every like action shooter in which you're fighting monsters. Like if you have to wait for an elevator, here's a monster. I mean, they just did it in the RE4.
Mm-hmm. Protect me, Squire.
So you have nothing to do now. Oh, and his life slowly drains.
Yeah. So as you level up that power, they get more time to be possessed. They get a little bit stronger. Sometimes they get a little shield.
So that's kind of like a...
No.
What is it?
Farewell, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's kind of like what was the ability? I guess like turn undead. Like, and after a while they go kaputs.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm trying to remember if there's like a possession spell. There used to be some really, really good spells in D&D, like AD&D and 3.5, where you could compel people to do things, and not like little things either. You had like Gaius, which was like, hey, you have to go complete a quest before you can get this spell broken. All right, luck and probability office.
Excuse me.
Screw whatever else we're doing. There's a tiny cat here.
Nope. Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of those.
The good luck cats.
Yeah. Doma or something like that. I don't know if they have the cat version of it, but it's one of those little things.
Wait. Four-leaf clover.
Ooh.
There you are. I was starting to worry.
Yeah, I'll get with you in a second, Marshall. Yep. Gotta turn this around the other way
Horseshoe.
so the bad luck can run out.
Okay. I like the simple instructions on the whiteboard.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Faden.
This
I'm
lady
Helen Marshall,
looks like
head of
my
Bureau
Bio
Operations.
1 and 2 teacher from college.
Zachariah's dead then. And I assume you found
And she was a
Jack.
military brat as well.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this phases her? Really?
Well,
Here's the situation.
can't you tell?
Darling
She
created
has,
the
as they
HRAs
say,
in a lab
seen some
nearby.
shit.
We need more if we're gonna survive this attack.
I don't want to be
Rangers
that guy
can't secure the lab
again,
alone,
but
not against
fuck,
those
that's a good
things. We need
jacket.
more firepower.
I was about to compliment her.
At least
What
she
is that, a
seems
flight
to know
jacket?
What's going on here?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, an old bomber
She
jacket.
could know about Dylan.
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling has systems in place to protect his labs. This should help you get past them.
Oh,
We'll
man.
talk more after you clear out the hiss.
Moving up the security chain ladder.
Yep. I got the
Rangers,
level 3
let us
card.
through.
This will open every level 3
Sorry,
door.
but we can't risk a breach.
Clacky ball.
Collins, what's the situation?
Squad C hasn't made it back. They're still out there.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh my.
Oh, no.
I see Rangers over there. We have to help them.
Boy,
So here you have what I... What's that?
I was about to say, there's only a door keeping all that from getting into the other room. You about to say something?
Ow. I was gonna say, here we have what I think is the first instance of this, where there's actually a pitched battle going on, and you can affect the outcome of it. So if you see that little circle there, that should always be your first priority.
All right.
Because
Oh, the healer.
as long as it's on the battlefield, not only is it healing everybody, it also makes them a little more durable. And it sucks. The board of directors has another side mission for me, but we're a little busy.
Dolly.
Have a little Jolene.
Oh,
How
man.
about some 9 to 5?
There you go. That's what I want to hear. That should be a thing. Every time you smack someone with a dolly, just make a partner reference. Oh, so you have allies, yes?
Yeah, but I don't. Not for long.
There's so much for changing the outcome.
Yeah. Haha.
Oh, you can get them on your side?
Welcome to the team, also Jeffrey. And then he just screams and walks around for a bit.
Huh. It's a shame that he has no friends to play with.
He'll see them soon. Okay, Jeffrey.
He hasn't had his nap. Oh.
Nope, something's stopping us. It's parakinesiology, Chief Lewis.
Alright, so he can move objects, para. I'm working
Yes,
on
he
working
moves
on the
stuff
words.
with his mind.
Yeah, like I know, like a psycho. Let's see, what is it? Telekinesis
Psycho.
or psychokinesis. But
So
like,
Psycho is using your mind to affect other people's minds. Then Paris kinesiology would just be like supernaturally moving stuff.
oh, okay.
A lot of running around here as I try and find power-ups from enemies.
Was it like Rainbow Six that started the red screen means you're damaged thing?
So like seeing blood and that kind of thing. I think Call of Duty was the one who really got it that way.
Yeah.
But let's see, because Rainbow Six, you only got 1 or 2 hits and you were down.
Okay.
Ugh. So those guys are not fun to fight.
Wasn't it Rainbow Six where Sergeant Scroat came from?
Oh, yes. Because that was, they foolishly let you take pictures and upload your own face into it. So I think it was about 5 seconds before somebody decided to put their balls on screen. Just filthy college kids.
Oh yeah.
Well, now that it's over, we can go check this shelter here. Not that I expect anything's in it, but, you know. You may have also noticed that during that battle we couldn't pick up certain drops because we completely filled our inventory with little personal mods and things.
Mm-hmm.
The downside to having a loot system, but we'll take care of that before we go again.
Do they have inventory expansions?
Not really. Here's what this type of enemy is called, so you know we're going to encounter them again. But you do get the ability to slot in more upgrades on your person, which helps a little bit. Case files. Oh yeah, the light box. Kind of wish there was DLC of all these little missions.
Mm-hmm.
You could go play the teams, go into clear out and collect these objects.
Yeah.
Synchronicity lab.
Did this game get any DLC?
It did. It got quite a bit of DLC, including some DLC that linked it with the Alan Wake universe. It also linked it a little bit with the Max Payne universe.
Nice.
There's some good stuff. Yeah.
Good old bullet time.
What are you guys doing in here?
Well.
So there's some good stuff in here, but this is technically heading towards
John Lennon and Yoko were in that room.
Heyo.
I've got to update my references. Lindsay Ellis, I believe, just did a particularly good video on Yoko and how everybody kind of just trashed her. How what now?
Just everybody kind of like turned on and trashed her, and like it's actually a pretty good, kind of a sad story. I would recommend watching it.
Like Yoko Ono specifically?
Yeah, and you know how everybody blamed her for breaking up the Beatles and things like that, and just like completely fabricating stories and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think, and I know, what's his name? Who's that really, like New Jersey comedian? Bill Burr. He did a rant about it. So, like, John Lennon had said many times that, like, one of his biggest heroes was Chuck Berry. And he got to perform with Chuck Berry. And then Yoko's up there playing the tambourine, and then in the middle of the piece, she grabs the mic and starts screeching like an owl into the microphone very loudly and startling Chuck Berry.
I would highly recommend that video.
Mm-hmm.
It's well worth a listen / watch.
So Lindsay Ellis, I'm assuming you're referring to, formerly known as Nostalgia Chick.
I don't know. I did not watch a lot of the nostalgia stuff, so I cannot say.
Yeah, she. If it was who I think it is, she was formerly known as the Nostalgia Chick, but now she does very informative pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And she's friends with Mara Wilson.
Ah. But here we are, almost to our destination, which is we found Dr. Darling's office last time, and now we're headed to his actual research lab where he makes the HRAs. Ooh, rubber duck.
Stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock. No response. Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen.
Oh, it's the SCP rubber ducky.
No response. Next, a series of solutions will be applied, each with a different value on the pH scale, from 0 to 14.
All right, so actually, if we got time for a brief one, that is an actual SCP.
Attempt to communicate.
Bring it on.
All right,
Can you
let me pull it up
understand
here.
me? Can you understand my words?
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Quack if you can understand my words.
This is a
Note 5.
SCP-1356.
This concludes session 2. We'll need time to prepare further tests.
All right, let's see. SCP-1356 is a small bath toy resembling one of several generic rubber
This way
duck
to the lab?
designs. Tests
Okay.
indicate that the object is made of
You must like these
plasticized
HRAs.
polyvinyl
Sounds like
chloride.
Darwin built them.
It is designed to emit
And
a
most
sharp
of the
squeak
things
when
around here.
squeezed. When held by human subject, the
Marshall
object
can't
appears
help
to
us with
displace
Dylan.
liquid water.
He's our next
If
best
a
bet.
subject holding the toy attempts to
Assuming he's
enter a
not
lake or
dead.
pool, for example, they will find that all
Or
liquid
taken over.
with an area
Yes.
extending approximately 152.4 by 81.3 by 45.7 centimeters from the body disappears. So basically, while you're holding the duck, you can... No, water will not touch you.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Can avoid that bath you've been putting off.
Look, man. If it rains, that's considered a shower.
Not ominous at all, lab.
Because if you can, why the fuck not?
Yeah. Get.
Oh, there's a shiny.
Yeah. I like when they not just hide things, because you
let me
can
hear
see what's supposed to
Any
be
idea
there.
how to make it work?
But, you know, it's like you still have to play around with the telekinesis a little bit to get in there.
Yeah.
So this puzzle that is coming up is... It's supposed to be one of those logic
Well, again,
puzzles
Director,
that
it
was
appears we
like
have a new problem.
4 people are
We
sitting
get
at a
the HRA
table.
machine
Susie
working.
sits next
I've
to,
replaced a
you know,
couple of
Tommy.
spark
Tommy
plugs, but
sits next to the
this
person who
looks a
has
bit
the
more
salmon.
complicated.
Darling must have had a
And
system.
then you have to figure out where
Planning
everybody
must have been
sits.
in his
Yeah.
nature. The punch cards.
But for
symbols,
some reason,
terminals. How
this
do they connect?
I'll see what I
never
can do.
works. Like, I don't know why I can never get this one to work. Because the answers are around the room on different whiteboards.
Mm-hmm. So is it kind of
and
like
I don't know
a...
if it's...
Is it? You think it's a bug?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there are solutions for it online, and it's always the same solution, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those things where whatever message it's trying to convey, the information is not coming through to me in the way that it wants it to.
Oh, okay.
Because essentially you have 4 terminals here,
Mhm.
and each one has... You have to put a punch card in that has a... yeah, thanks, Marshall. That's why I'm explaining it now. And on different whiteboards are different X's over things, so you have to figure out just the 4... Is it 4 or 5-digit code? Using logic and reasoning.
Okay.
And each of these terminals has a number on it, as you can see.
4.
And but you're also supposed to be reading the notes on the board and how they kind of relate to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, oh no, because some of the things on the whiteboard are misleading, and it's supposed to be like, this is a feedback loop and we can't use it. So I give it a good try, and then I look up the answer online. And actually, I'll probably fast forward through some of this stuff.
She's walking around with like an elephant cannon.
So that is something interesting to talk about. Once again, you know, you can't have anything iconic.
Yeah.
And so what she's using there is a French support machine gun from World War II, I believe.
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
The Japanese had a very similar design, but it actually may even be older than that. But it's all of the soldiers and stuff use these very kind of, you know, items you don't normally see, I would say. And so some of the guys are carrying weird like bullpups, like Belgian. There's a Belgian manufacturer called F and Herschel that makes some very interesting design weapons. And they're running around with what looks to be playoffs of those.
These whiteboard drawings may be important.
Just watch the Cro-Magnon man try and figure out the puzzle here. First I unga, and then I bunga.
You know, I'm all for de-extinction of certain species, but at the same time, you know, in the furtherance of knowledge, where do we draw the line morally of de-extincting something just to keep it behind a pin so we can poke at it?
Yeah. You know, I would love for Jurassic Park to be real. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you have no arguments for me.
But
I am willing to take the risk.
I am willing to risk those breaking out and giving us Jurassic World eventually, but I don't know. And nothing good ever seems to come from that. Like, it always is just, hey, we did all this so we could research pharmaceuticals better, or...
Yeah.
Marshall, if you could just tell me that answer, I would, sure would appreciate that.
Like, they're fairly close to being able to clone a woolly mammoth, as well as a few other species from, 10,000 years ago, like during the Ice Age. Which that'd totally be cool. I'm down for that. It's weird though. They have cloned woolly mammoth meat and made it into a meatball for reasons.
I mean, I guess in the Solid Snake line of thinking, it's like, yeah, but how does it taste?
Yeah. Well, I mean, throughout there, like even during the early days of human exploration and discovery, is if we saw a new creature, the question was, can you eat it? In fact, I think didn't Darwin eat one of everything that he discovered?
That would be amazing if that were true. I have no idea.
It seems I know
I
he ate many of the things that he studied.
God, I would love to read that story. Him just it's just like, well, evolution, blah blah blah, but delicious.
Yeah.
I do think I remember the story of one of the reasons a certain sea turtle went extinct is because it was so delicious that even when they were transporting some to put in a sanctuary to like preserve them, they could not stop themselves from eating it. And I love that. That's also the story I want to read, where they're just like, look, we wanted to so bad, but you have no idea, guys. It's so good. I think at this point in the puzzle, I am about... Thank you, Marshall. Yes, logic. Is that I'm about 5 seconds from just rubbing myself on everything and pressing the button to try and get it to work.
All right, so I'm gonna read you this. I'm gonna read you this small passage.
All right, lay it on me.
Scientists who eat the plants and animals they study are following the tradition of Charles Darwin. During the voyage of the Beagle, he ate puma, quote, remarkably like veal in taste, iguanas, giant tortoises, and armadillos. He even accidentally ate part of a bird called a lesser rhea after spending months trying to catch it so that he could describe the species. So while it's doubtful he ate everything he was studying, he did eat a lot of them.
That's fantastic. I want his tasting guide. Endangered animals of the world.
Well, we know puma is remarkably like veal.
I mean, that's kind of amazing. I don't see why more people don't eat puma. I mean, they're kind of like invasive and nuisance creatures in a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, and then and hey, you get veal without the cruelty.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. I would prefer people not be that cruel, especially to baby animals.
Yeah.
Do we need to be Disney villain level of evil in order to enjoy meat?
No doubt. Puzzle solving.
Yes, riveting gameplay.
I'm gonna have to read that. I'm gonna have to read that full article. I'm curious if there's like a complete list of everything he ate. Like I'm just generally wondering, like, so during this voyage, as they call it, you know, he was starting to run low on rat, or like it just happened to be lunchtime, and he's like studying this animal, this majestic creature, and he's like, Darwin, he was American?
Charles Darwin? I thought he was British, but
He may be. In fact, that's more likely the case. But yeah, that's oh, a giant turtle though.
I mean, turtle meat is supposed to be delicious. It is like loggerheads and everything like that. I know people have eaten all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I've oh, you got it finally.
Finally.
Nice.
No safety glasses.
First try.
Yeah. Just edit all that out.
The prism shattered. Darling's prototypes have a lot of issues.
Damn.
We need a new plan. We
Thanks.
need more Black Rock
Marshall
prisms to
barely
make this
flinched.
machine work. Darling has another lab down in the Black Rock processing site in maintenance.
Her eyes are
That
like
must be where
bulletproof
you
at
keep
this
the
point.
prisms.
Yeah.
I've been to maintenance already.
Is it just me, or does she look like she belongs in Fallout
How
4?
long will that take?
She does have a very
Very
Fallout
simple.
4 feel.
I need to ask
I think
her
the
now,
gun helps.
before I go.
I need something from you first. What do you know about Dylan Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director Faden, then we can talk.
She's right. As much as I don't want to admit it, I'm the only one who can help.
Damn it, she's got good boots
Fine.
too.
I'll get the prisms first.
Dylan will have to wait just a little longer.
But don't call me
Oh,
Director.
pin a rose in your hat then.
Jesse is fine.
Yeah.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Extreme close up.
Thanks.
Get your
Emily
dumb
Poe will set
rocks.
up a base in Executive. Once I have the prism, I'll meet you there.
Well, that's quick.
I'll move out immediately.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for
You didn't even
Darling.
have to fight a boss.
Finding him might be
Yeah.
the key to stopping the hiss.
We're moving up.
It's just one large-scale HRA. It's there now. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance.
Is he in his undies?
Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us, and keeping us from being wiped out.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Little sneak preview of Blackrock processing here.
good graphics on that too.
Here, this will lead back to Central Research.
Also, she has a limp, which I realize isn't a big thing. Lots of characters do, but it's just it's just an affectation. She didn't receive it in the game. She just has an old war wound.
Yeah, I mean it's storytelling without directly acknowledging it.
And we're back. And I think that's a good place to call it there. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. And if you want to hear us talk about any particular SCP, let us know in the comments. And we'll see you next time on I've Got Next. I've been Austin.
And I'm Smeef.
We'll see you next time.
See you.